Okay, so I know a little bit more about magic than most people. It happens when you like fucking spooky bitches. So let's talk. First off, is there a devil? Is there a hell? And is magic real? Yes and no. A lot of those. First off, the concept of a hell, I I don't know. There might be. I do not think it fits with what I believe about God. I honestly I think that God forgives and that when you're done here, you get reincarnated and you get to go again. And like maybe if you do something really, really bad, you get sent to some sort of interdimensional prison that is much like hell. I don't know. It's my supposition. However, all of this like witchcraft and magic and demons and witches and warlocks and wizards, let's explain all that. And first off, am I a witch or warlock or anything like that? I tell people that I am a wizard. Okay. A wizard is like a witch or warlock that works for God. And the magic that I do is considerably different than the magic that these demons do. And like to educate you on the difference, basically, what is magic? Okay, let's start there. Magic is mostly simple tricks and nonsense and knowing how people work and programming people to do what you want them to do. Okay, the low level shit, they'll try to show off tricks and whatever. High level shit, it's all about mental manipulation. Why? Well, they curse people. They get people not to leave their cults by saying that they'll die and shit. They do that. They program you to where like you have a fucking heart attack that night because like you're just so freaked out about it. And I know that's hard to believe, but like this is real, and like this is the power of belief. Things only matter about this shit if you believe it, and these people believe it. I do what I do largely as a result of the fact that I've always been this. What do I mean by that? Well, in my opinion, bad magic has to do with summoning demons and basically a lot of worshiping yourself and drawing power to yourself to be God. Okay? What I am is totally fucking different. I don't do anything. I'm just along for the ride usually. I have started saying the Baraka rides with me. I got that from the Wind and the Lion. I like it. It's like saying the Holy Spirit rides with you. In my opinion, that's what does the things that I do. And this is one of those things like basically the enemies of the free peoples of Middle Earth conjured themselves up a fucking wizard or warlock or some shit, and they started doing shit in the unseen realm. And this is bringing about a whole bunch of bad shit, and it's causing people like me to get woken up. Basically, I think that's what happened on July 8th. I was already a little bit kind of like this anyway, and something happened on July 8th that involved the stone table that is the Georgia Guidestones just breaking. I still put it to you that that was a thunderbolt sent by God because I talked to him that night. I know that sounds fucking crazy, but like I was having kind of an intense drug trip and was ranting at the universe with the camera off, and we were talking about a great many things. And the chief thing amongst them was that fucking stone table to worshiping Satan. That was amongst my complaints. There were a few other things. Much of what you see in the world now, I think, is as a result of shit that happened that night on a spiritual level. That's what I believe. And as far as the witches and warlocks, basically you need to get that they don't have any real power. Um, they have some fake tricks and bullshit and shit that demons can do. We can get into that, but they can convince demons to do things, and that's not good for you. However, if you are as you should be, that's not a concern for you. Like, this is one of the things that, like, people that are like me, that are evil, will tell people that they have a demon that they feed. I have a demon that I feed too, but it's God. Consider that. And I don't mean like a God. I mean like capital G, big man in the sky, Jehovah, Yahweh. That's the demon I got. And he is a powerful demon. And I don't need to do shit. All I got to do is sit back and let him work. Go read the book of Elijah. There's a part in it where the god Baal and his priests were basically having a wizard duel with Elijah and God. And Elijah came in and was like, "Well, if your God is so mighty, why do you have to light the funeral pyre for him or whatever, the fucking altar, the sacrifice for him? Wouldn't your God be capable of lighting it himself? My God is." Then you just sit back and let the barraca work, boys. That's literally what every story in the Bible is telling you. So that these people don't really have any power over you. Any power that you believe they have over you is imagined. Free yourself and your ass will follow. Witches aren't good, but not all witches are bad. Like, that's one thing you probably ought to get is like witches are like Christians in a way. They come in a bunch of different flavors. Most of them that you're familiar with that are open about it and whatever, they are full blown fucking Satanists. And like, these two things can walk hand in hand. But at the same time, you should go read your fucking book and realize that there are characters in your fucking book that are your Aunt Ray Ray. That's the difference between us. You read the book, I'm the one the book's written about in some ways. I don't mean that as in I'm God. I mean that as in, like, Moses and Elijah. I guarantee you sounded quite a bit like me. Not like I was them or anything like that, but like, they were fucking tired of whatever was going on. And were ballsy enough and had enough faith to be like, okay, G Man, let's go fucking duel the Satanists. This is kind of in a nutshell why I don't really care for Carl of InRange TV. This is kind of in a nutshell why I don't really care for many things, really. I don't really watch horror movies that much. I like Bram Stoker's Dracula. Gary Oldman. I journeyed across an ocean of time to find you. He had me at that. Gary Oldman would work. Especially sexy 1800s vampire. The like crazy demon, not so much, but anyway. There's so many people that watch this show that I guarantee you don't believe any of this shit is real. I can assure you, this shit is real. It's not what they think it is, and it's not what you think it is. I could explain demons to you, but that would not help my argument. And this is some of the shit that, like, the reality of the universe is such that I believe that our whole culture has been manufactured to prevent you from knowing greater realities. We're supposed to have blinders on and just keep working. And man, that's all of the Western world is set up that way. Just go to church on Sunday, you'll be fine. You will not be fine. You know, Smoke not long ago said on the comments of one of my religious rants that you're either on fire or lukewarm and spit out. Yeah, I tend to agree. I kind of am on fire all the time, and like either that means that I'm the devil, or some sort of working for God, one or the other. I don't think I'm the Antichrist. To be honest, I don't think I'm powerful enough to be the Antichrist. uh, my feeling is that he is here also, and that we are here. When I say we, I know there's more than one of me. There should be somewhere in the realm of 13 of us. "12 Knights, One Wizard." That's one of those, like, I'm curious to see who the knights are. Sorry, I'm having a sucker. I got a jumbo push pop at Lowe's. And I kind of like it because you can put it away. It's like, you make fun of them, but it's a handy thing. So yeah, that's a lot to take in. I know it's a lot to take in. I could talk about more shit, but like less is more with these subjects. A lot of the witchcraft shit focuses on using your own insecurities against you. So the thing that God provides you with is a complete and utter lack of insecurities. I know who I am. I know who I work for. I know why I'm here, and I know what I'm doing. This makes it really difficult to get fucked with by demons. The Bible would call this wearing the full armor of God. I always liked the armor of God because it didn't have a backplate. Why would you ever need to run? You only need back protection for running away. Like, this is some of the thing that, like, people don't like God. People don't like God because he'll give you a good suit of armor with no back protection. What they don't realize is that you're standing shoulder to shoulder with everyone else. Sad part is, like, I don't even consider myself to be Christian, really. I would consider myself to be Buddhist with, I don't know, we could talk about some other stuff, but, like, I really particularly like Japanese Buddhism. I've, you know, explored a lot of religions, and one of the last ones I explored was Buddhism, and I explored the Japanese warrior samurai shit last because I kind of figured it would be the most basic bitch least interesting. Mainly because so many people like get obsessed with Japanese shit and Bushido and whatever. I think that basically none of these views are particularly right or wrong. They just are. Now, the witches and shit, if they're really working for Satan and conjuring demons and shit, that ain't good for you. Can't let that live, right? And like this is the argument that, well, it's hard to tell the non-witches from the witches. No, it's not. If it is for you, then this isn't your fight. Like this is the thing that we're waging a spiritual war for this country in a way, and I don't want to see all of the witches fucking done away with, but all of the ones that are like evil Satan worshippers, yeah, I'm kind of cool with that. And like this is half of the thing too. It's like you see Carl at InRange TV. There's a really good chance that he is probably one of those Satanists that is like me. Like he just formed his own thing and like likes thinking his own thing and whatever. And okay, then don't call yourself a Satanist. That's kind of my issue with that. I may be many things. I'm not a Satanist. And the, the mixture of shit going on the internet right now that is infecting the youth is part of the thing. Like I think some of it is we're bringing out things that always were, like the trans shit. I legitimately have been dealing with this issue my entire life. The demon worship and shit. Well, that's probably I'm gonna guess that's cultural influence. And I think the thing that makes me believe in God almost more than anything else is that my girlfriend needed to hang out with me, no one else. Like, she legitimately needed someone to correct her worldview a little bit. And the only way it was ever going to happen was in a relationship. And with lots of love, basically. She didn't believe in demons. She didn't realize that she had a few. I worked on getting rid of those. You get into that, but basically the thing that kills demons is lots and lots of love. Like if you really want to see some gay shit, you gotta see me fighting demons. Some of the gayest shit you'll ever see. I miss her. I have a little bit of faith that we will end up together someday. And I say that because I know she loves me. I keep hoping she'll come back. The reason that she needed to hang out with me was basically she was an anarcho-communist and had all of the views that I have, and had demons and various other. She had shit that was going to hold her back, and I broke her addiction to several things, and and then loved the shit out of her. And I said broke her addiction to several things. You got to understand, I broke her addiction to things. I sat down and did them with her until she realized that they were going to kill me. And somewhere in that, she realized that she loved me and that she didn't want me to die. And she got sober for that. I don't need drugs. Flat out, I don't get addicted to things. We could get into that, but this is some of the magic and some of the shit that comes from being addicted to food. I quit food cold turkey. You think you know what an addiction is. I most assure you, you do not. I kind of regret doing some drugs with her, but at the same time, her demons needed to die. And my demon knew exactly how to kill him. Because my demon is the Baraka. At least that's what I choose to believe. I think a great many things in life matter a lot based on what we choose to believe, whether we choose to believe that we are good or we are bad. I like throwing some chaos out into the world on the internet, especially when people piss me off. That's my vice. Okay, I got a couple others too, but like, really, it's a big one. I like talking shit on the internet because, like, in reality, if you and I met, I probably wouldn't engage you at all. I'd just leave. That's what I do for most people. I don't see a reason to speak to anyone anymore. I stopped speaking to people when I stopped speaking to Matt and the guys. I barely even speak to other living humans now. And part of the reason for this is basically that people aren't good for me. It's part of it. And part of it is like I was, I was lost for a long time. And it took me a really, really long time wandering in the dark in order to find a path. I always liked Pathfinders in World War II. You don't know about them. They look just like regular 82nd or 101st Airborne dudes, but they're covered in fucking green motor paint in stripes all over their equipment and themselves. And they're carrying specialized equipment for sending signals to other planes. And these men, with highly trained pilots, flying them blind at high altitude at night. No lights, no radar. Compass. Compass and a stopwatch in the dark. Now that's some fucking flying. It's like, and this is why we couldn't drop all of the airborne that way. The man that can do that is rare. I don't know how many pilots they had for the Pathfinders, but there couldn't have been many. And their motto, if they had one, was that they jump first and they jump blind. You think you got it rough? We do it in the dark. Should have been their fucking motto. So, in my wandering looking for a path and helping Dakota, I learned a lot of shit about myself. And some of it is conquering demons and shit and some wizard shit. And like the thing that kills me more than anything is that the most powerful wizards I've ever met were homeless men. They quite literally don't need you. It's somewhat amazing. Now, it should be said that most of them are very hopelessly lost and have like 80 demons attached to them, and that's why they're so powerful. Like this is the other thing is like you should get that when you do anything that you're feeding your demon, whatever that is to you. If you're watching YouTube and you're watching Nothing Fancy, maybe that's feeding the good demon. If you're watching, who am I going to pick on? If you're watching Hickok 45, maybe that's the bad demon. You're feeding the bad demon that shoots pumpkins. I don't fucking know. I'm just making shit up. But like, it's everything you do in life. Like watching YouTube is an extreme example, but like, if you dedicate your life to playing video games, it brings certain things into your life. You waste a bunch of time, and like, I'm not saying don't enjoy a good video game because you definitely should. But my encouragement to you would be so those massive multiplayer RPG games that never end on the internet? You should avoid those. And you should avoid several others that are like these addictive, like Second Life kind of things, where like, come on, cat, it's it's not good. Like, there's a difference between like a simulation, like Red Dead Redemption is like a movie that it's like a simulator. The RPG games give you the ability to like tweak 10 billion aspects about your character. That's cool. However, all of that mixed with doing it with other people on the internet makes it to where the game never ends. And they can just keep milking you for money. So don't do that. That attracts bad shit into your life. What could attract good shit into your life? Like, I like making things. I like animals. Animals and making things are like the two big things for me. Like, if I had to like put my finger on what God is or where I find God in animals and art and making things. Whether that's knives or the van I'm working on, even like, I find God in being creative, in having a creative nature. Funny part is, magic is one of those things that's like, at one point, it's totally a fake bullshit thing. And at another point, that shit's real. And it depends entirely on who you're dealing with. You know? Just to kind of bring this all back around to where we started, like, the magic that I use is God and fishing line and simple tricks and nonsense. The magic some of these people use is like human sacrifice. We haven't gotten there yet that I'm aware of. Other than the fact that there is a giant abortion cult to Baal in the United States. Like Baal back in the Bible, they were sacrificing their infant children to Baal. I put it to you that that is what abortion is. It is the 21st century version of it. You know, I call out Satan where I see him, and in killing babies, I see a lot of Satan. I also see, really, with the whole birth control and abortion thing, I see the destruction of women. You know, there used to be consequences for being a slut. And I know I'm one to talk. Like, but this is really like the thing back in the day that they were really against the Bible people. All of these dens of iniquity, these Roman whorehouses or Greek whorehouses, they didn't have birth control. They killed their babies. So I don't know which is worse. I really don't think it's a good thing to kill unborn babies. I think it's even worse of a thing to birth one and then sacrifice it to Satan on an altar. But I don't really see a big difference. I hope somebody got something out of this. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Christians that are going to watch this and be like, knew it, Satan, Satanist. Yeah. Oh, God. And this is one of those, like, magic is a touchy subject for Christians, not a touchy subject for me. Why? Not a Christian. You know? And, like, this is the thing that, like, I think really blows them away about me is that I can totally not be a Christian and be a good person and not worship Satan and be trans. That's, if you wanted to know why we do this, this is kind of in a nutshell some of why we do this. At least why we make a show of it on the internet. I see so many people out there that take up the cross that is the transgender fight that shouldn't be, basically. And by that I mean like they're demon worshiping Satanists. You don't exactly, if you're trying to sell that we're not demons, good move. Good move. Fucking geniuses. Like, this is part of the thing is like, there is a portion of the transgender community and a portion of the woke bullshit that is this hardcore that hate my fucking guts. This is the thing I like. If everybody hates me, I must be doing something right. I don't mean about like my friends. I mean like about the witches and the Christians and if I'm pissing off all of the religions, we might be getting close to God. That's kind of my thoughts. Most religions are full of dogma and bullshit. Somehow, I doubt very much that God is full of dogma and bullshit. I say that because I am here, sitting here, judging you, sick of your dogma and bullshit. And if we are to believe that we are all like the Creator, we are made in His image, then I think I can somewhat assume that, like, there's some portion of God that feels this way too. Maybe that's my real failing. But I think if you look around at the world, the four horsemen of the apocalypse being on the loose hints that I'm right. I don't really care. World ends, world doesn't end, I'll be okay. That's the nature of being the wizard, I guess. I don't really care. The whole planet could blow up tomorrow, and in my worldview, it matters not. And that is the way God feels about us, too. I should tell you that. Um, I'm kind of under the belief that July 8th, when they turned on the fucking CERN super collider and all that shit happened, I think that was God coming to destroy the planet. That I spoke with that night. I don't know. I feel called by God to preach to you people about not being a jackass, essentially, and to not worship Satan. The funniest shirt I ever saw was on a guy on the back of a motorcycle. It said, "Fuck midgets, worship Satan." I really wish I could fucking meet that dude. It was like, if he's serious about the worshiping Satan part, that's not that interesting. But as a joke, that's very funny to me. And this is kind of half the problem with the world now is it's impossible to tell what is and is not a joke anymore because shit's gotten real. People made it real. You know that it's going to cause some issues. My favorite thing is that the Democrats think they're going to win this election. If they do win this election, there's going to be a civil war. Flat out. They are getting us into a war with Russia now. If they seriously do win that election and we just go on and nobody does anything crazy, no one fucking starts anything, we just wait for another 2 years. Honestly, I don't see us surviving another 2 years. I know that's hard to say. A lot of people don't see that. And like I don't mean the country. I mean like our civilization. Because we are the leaders of the free world, what we do has global consequences. And currently, we have a large portion of the voting bloc in America that thinks war is bad, which is a complicated subject. Basically, getting into a pissing contest over Russian soil with Russians, that's bad. Fighting for just causes around the world, I think, is right. I think it's what we should do. I think it is a horrible system that's getting misused by Democrats. But in reality, assuming that the New World Order people aren't evil, which is a big assumption, I'm sure it'll work out great for everybody. I am not going to take that chance. There's going to be somewhere that's left outside of this shit. I'll be going there. Hope it's in America. I'd hate to have to travel very far. I don't think I'd fit in anywhere else either. So, like, that's half the thing is pretty much wherever I'm going to buy some land, I plan on living on that land until I die. To be honest, I really don't like the idea of owning land. That's a whole conversation. And to be honest, I think the way that the US did some things is better than some places. All of the Western United States being federal lands, it has preserved a large chunk of what was America. And that would not have otherwise been preserved. However, right now, no one can buy land. It's all owned by the federal government, including the whole fucking state of Alaska. And like everybody's like, oh well, you wouldn't want to live there. You'd have to go and fucking do that and fees and fuck you. First off, I like snow. Second off, uh, I don't get the mentality that like everyone must love it here. Everyone must love it in this society. Everyone must love being a part of Satan. Like that's how I view America. America is the great Satan. Our Muslim friends were right. They're not really good either, but like, every broken clock's right twice a day. On the thought of the Muslims being right, I will leave you. This has been 40 minutes of this, and I doubt anyone listened to this far. If you did, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the magic ship. I fucked a lot of spooky women. Most of them are harmless. Some of them are named Tiffany, and those bitches will kill a rabbit and put it in a pot and steal your car and fucking break your windows and shit. Don't trust women named Tiffany.